Welcome to another edition of Split Decisions. I'm your host, Rob J. Speck Nakamura, and I'm followed by my boys, Ricky and Sean. And what is the point of Split Decisions? Well, we're going to find the best topics to talk about, the most noteworthy things, hottest topics, and we're going to bring you special guests. Like in this episode, you're going to have a wonderful time with our guest, Philipe Lins. He's going to drop some bombs of knowledge on you. So that's going to be a good one. But we're going to go through so many great topics. So stick with us. And I'm going to go to each of these gentlemen to introduce them because they deserve it. All right. First up, Ricky.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Episode 2 of Split Decisions now. Ricky, Sicko Sports on Twitter. You can find me on there. Follow me on there. And join us. Man, let me plug our stuff. Rob, follow us on Spaces. Join us on Spaces when we watch fights together. Just follow one of us you see underneath in white. Those are our Twitter or X, sorry. Our tags there. Follow one of us, follow us, and then join us whenever we are on Spaces during these fights so you can check in with us and get our live reactions along with the rest of the community, all of our friends, boys and girls that are all in there.
That's right. Real international community. Sean, what you got?
Back at it. Sean, PC Strickland, whatever you guys want to call me. You know, we were bringing the hot takes, say it every week, but it's only our second week. So we're going to keep this going, keep it rolling. Fun takes, big guests. You never know who's coming on our show. So keep your eyes open. We got some fun things to talk about this week. And I think we're going to start it off hot. So back to Rob.
You know, I told you folks we're going to have special guests. And we have none other than former world champion and UFC veteran, Felipe Lins. Mr. Lins, how you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm doing well. Happy to talk with you again. And with another show, all deserved to you, brother. Congratulations. It's a pleasure to talk with you again.
It's always an honor to talk to you, sir. So thanks again, man. I love talking with you. Now, I'm going to get into you for a second. Just double checking, you're still training out of ATT?
Yeah, I'm still training at ATT. Right now I'm in Brazil. We spend a little time with my family, training over here, but still training at American Top Team, the best gym in the world.
Hell yeah, ATT. And awesome. I'm glad you're getting some time with the family and getting some recharging of the Brazilian ways back into you. That's excellent. I want to ask the beauty of Florida. I got to ask you, sir, how beautiful is life in Florida?
The life in Florida is so beautiful, man. It's like my city in Brazil, Natal, the same weather, great beach, clear waters. Sometimes have a wave there, and I take good waves over there. So I love living in Florida. The best for me is the best state to live in United States.
Excellent, brother. I'm glad you found a second home, a home that matches your first home. That's beautiful. And not a lot of people know, but they should know Mr. Lins is an excellent surfer. So not only is a badass fighter, he can ride those waves too. So check out Felipe Lins on X, on Instagram, and you're going to see him doing all kinds of awesome stuff. So before we go any further, I have to thank the AllStar Sport. Go and get their app available on every single platform, fully customizable, no ads, all the best stuff you want, and exclusive MMA content. We're talking literal exclusive interviews for fights that are happening that week of. So check it out. All right. So, guys, I cannot go any further. We cannot go any further into this week of MMA without recognizing the week that we just had. A week that, let's be honest, the UFC knows better. That's why they don't even have an event this week. They know we need to chill a refraction period. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean. This is what it is. It's UFC 300, big aftermath, big opinions on every single topic. I mean, that's really what's going on here. So I'm going to first bring up the UFC ratings. All right. You guys seen in our first episode what we thought our expectations were. All right. And our expectations of the event, how it would probably pan out. Now, we got to talk to some fans, got to get their perspective on things, and they rated it pretty high at a 9.4. I also want to get to a couple comments that were left by some people because they were basically blown out of the water. I'm going to go to Big Raw, frequent visitor of our spaces. Main event, a bit anticlimactic, but a legendary card. I countered him later on and saying anticlimactic because it was a first round knockout. What did you expect? A war? Honestly, though, what can you get better than that? A first round knockout in a championship fight. It's hard to say. I'm gonna pick somebody else at random here. Socrates, number one of 3 lists that he has listed. High skill levels on a show, loads of heart, amazing performances. Can't fault it. One of the best they've done in a long time, man. You know what, man? I agree with you, bro. Fellas, start with Sean. What is your satisfaction level with UFC 300?
I'm trying to remember off the bat what I predicted the score would be last week, but I'm pretty sure I said a 9.9 because I couldn't say a 10. And guess what? It was a 9.9. And I don't think there ever will be a 10 because I'm going to leave that spot open. I think God has to be on the card for it to be a 10 or whoever you believe in. But we're really going to keep it in. Yeah, exactly. We're going to keep this in 9.9. This was the best card I've seen to date. I'm trying to think of which other cards I've seen recently that I could think of. Maybe a card like 281. That was a really fun card. But guess who else was on that card? Alex Pereira. That guy's a beast. So I think discrediting the main event is a little out there. It was a great main event. But the card itself delivered from top to bottom. So, Ricky, what were you thinking?
Man, for me, going in, I rated it as a 9.3, which is really high. Like, I'm never going to really get up there. Dude, personally, it exceeded my expectations. I'm saying 9.5 when it's all said and done. And there really isn't too much. I mean, think about it. The one fight that everybody's pointing to and is like, oh, that was a drag. They brought it down. It wasn't, was Aljamain Sterling. Think about the magnitude of that fight. Aljo's first time at the weight class, like, and that's the fight that we're all pointing to, saying that's the one negative that you can point to in the card from top to bottom, from start to finish. Great call by you last week, Sean, saying, yo, they're kicking this off.
I think, let's start it from the beginning. Garbrandt versus Figueiredo. I mean, you really can't beat a card starting off like that. And
Figgy and Garbrandt is going to be crazy, and it was. As soon as that fight took place, I was like, oh, yeah, man, this is going to be the greatest card I've ever seen. And personally, man, it was. I can't even lie. It was the best card I've ever personally seen. I've seen other cards where there's been some crazy finishes, and maybe it didn't, the hype wasn't crazy, but then the card itself ended up being so much better than the hype for it. In this case, the hype was all-time high, and then the performances by these fighters lived up to the expectation. Rob, what do you got?
Once again, I have to leverage myself as the old guy in the room and say that I've been through a few more of these events. And I'm going to say I in jokes, I think I said 10 was my expectation. Because, yo, if you're gonna be talking that noise like Dana White was, and you're gonna give me all the King's horses and all the King's men like you did line it up, I'm gonna ask for a whole 10. My satisfaction level, to be quite honest, is a 9.9, and the only card I give a 10 is because I'm old enough to remember number 1, and without number 1, nothing gets done. And that was a groundbreaking event. If you were 8 years old and you watched somebody get their tooth kicked out of their face and jumped over Jim Brown's head, you would say the same thing. So there we go. The only more significant event in all time was UFC 1. Other than that, this has just like a tsunami just came in, this wiped the entire field of expectations, of satisfaction. I mean, the happiness, the genuine happiness amongst the fans was crazy. And even Felipe Lins had a wonderful reaction to it.
UFC 300 was amazing. Great fights, great matchups, great fighters fighting that day. Poatan, Max Holloway, Justin Gage, the woman from China. Was amazing. Was a great card. I'm gonna say to these cards is the notes is 9. It's gonna be 10 if me fight that. This is gonna be 10.
That's right.
What is amazing with UFC is for me is the best card of the year.
Excellent, excellent, man. And 9 is very high. 9 is an A, folks, and it's really hard to get there. So I like that rating. I'm a fan, of course, so I'm not eligible to fight. So I gave it a 9.5. That's amongst the
9.5.
high.
It's very
Yeah,
good.
it's almost the highest I've ever
Yeah.
scored something.
It
So yeah,
was a very exciting event, bro. Very exciting card. Was amazing. I
it,
don't.
it
I after the UFC 300, I don't sleep. Only in the morning. I'm very excited.
Brother, me too. Me too. I thought
Yeah.
other people I talked to said the same thing. They said, "Oh man, it was a couple hours till I could go to sleep. It was much later than
Yes.
normal because you
Yes. It
felt
was.
the man." What can I say? We just got to go into the topics of what made it great. And you know what I'm going to start with, people. You know what I'm going to start with? BMF. Max Holloway. To be the best, you got to beat the best. And the best is blessed. And it's back, baby. The Bless Express is on track. It's full steam ahead. He might even be more popular now than ever before, to be honest. Man, the title was huge. The moment was huge. The fight was great. And then the way it finished. I mean, honestly, you could even take one of these elements out of the fight and it's still a great fight. But it had all of these elements that literally make it perfect. And not last but not least, we gave it credit last week. Got to do it again. The chef's kiss on top of the whole thing, Mr. Coleman strapping that belt. So one BMF to another, that was all that. I'm gonna go to Sean first on this one. BMF, what are you feeling?
Exceeded my expectations to the extreme. When you put a BMF card on or BMF fight on any card, you have to picture what the outcome was on Saturday night. That's in everybody's mind. That's what's happening. And what happened? It played up to the expectations. It's what everybody dreamed of. The last second buzzer beater shot, brawl at the end. I can tell you one thing. There's only 3 things promised in life. It's death, taxes, and when Max Holloway points at the ground, shit's going to hit the fan. And shit hit the fan for Justin Gaethje. He brought him in. He drew him in like a dog. And Justin Gaethje knows he can't deny a banger. When somebody points at the ground and wants to throw fists, Justin Gaethje's going to drag himself in there. 1 leg hurt, 2 legs hurt, 4 limbs hurt. He'll find a way to get to that fight and he'll throw down. That's how Justin Gaethje is. Now, the icing on top was watching Mark Coleman put the belt around him because, dude, that is a BMF story in itself. Hearing what he did recently, saving parents from the house fire, going back in, risking his own life to get a dog, crazy stuff. Real BMF, real life BMF to put a belt on a real fighter BMF like Max Holloway personifies it to the extreme.
To the extreme, Ricky.
No, yeah, 100%. Mark Coleman, real life BMF. But it wasn't about the real life BMF that night. It was about the baddest motherfucker on the planet, and that was Max Holloway. The inspiration Max Holloway led, I did not think there was any possible way Max would gain popularity after this fight. Max is one of the most popular fighters we have. Everybody knows the Blessed Express has been something that everyone's been jumping on for years and years and years. I didn't think, hey, there's no way. There's no way Max is going to up his popularity, and lo and behold, he does it from his performance. The shit he was doing in there, it is video game-like. Going into that fight, Max said it best. Max said, Justin has everything to lose for this fight, and it's because it was true. We were all looking at Holloway going, please don't get knocked out. You've never gotten dropped before. You've never been knocked out before. We don't want to see it, especially if you're a Max Holloway fan, as I am. I was so nervous. You guys were with me, Rob, Sean, you guys were with me in spaces. I was like, I'm nervous, bro. I am shitting myself, terrified of what could possibly happen to Max Holloway, because if Alexander Volkanovski or any other fighter has shown us, the first thing you do is try to take away his legs, and then the next thing you have to have is be able to exchange with him in those situations and land big shots. And if there's anybody that can implement that game plan, it's Justin Gaethje. If you think about anybody at a higher weight class that can destroy Max's legs and get him to stop all that movement and then trade in the pocket with him, it's Justin Gaethje. So I was so nervous, and I was like, man, I don't know if Max is going to win. I'll never rule him out of a fight, but I just don't want to see him get hurt. I never thought in a million years it would be Justin Gaethje face planting with 1 second buzzer beater out cold. Iconic. Iconic. He's a legend. This is what legends are made of. He said it. I want to etch my name in the history books, brother. You don't got to worry about that, Max. It's there. It's set in stone. You will be remembered forever if you weren't already.
With that being said, you know what they're doing in Hawaii? Already clearing land for the biggest Max Holloway shrine could ever conceive. This moment obviously big for me, big for the fans of Max. But I want to talk about something. He being Max, finally came out as the Hawaiian kickboxer. Finally, true to his song. A little bit missing in his arsenal was the kicks. I'll be honest, but now they're here, and everybody watch the fuck out. Okay, he is. If you thought he was a problem before, now he's a bigger problem, and he seems even harder to hit. So now he can hit you more, and you can hit him less. Good luck, everybody. No, I gotta say this: Hawaii lost a legend with Akibono's passing recently, and the fight gods are cruel but funny because now they give another possible international star. When Max does something like this, it's bigger than just that fight. It becomes an international sensation. It pushes the whole sport forward. But I'm going to speak for a small group of people on the small little islands in the middle of the sea. When we see one of ours go up and do good things, we don't have a lot of that going on. So it really changes. There's probably hundreds of thousands, hopefully millions of young kids that have just got inspired. And you don't have to be from Hawaii. You be anywhere. And just know that sometimes you can lose. And that doesn't make you a loser. He lost to Alexander Volkanovski. Continuing to go forward and pursuing what you're good at, that means you will never be a loser. And that's the kind of stuff I like to see, plus reinventing your stuff. So anyways, man, I got to get on to the next subject. Love Max forever. Ending of that. We're going to go into the next one. We got to go into the hot topic because it was an explosion, right, fellas? This Alex Pereira, Jamal Hill, main event, almost impossible to do analysis. It was like a lightning strike, right? The big analysis, the big story in that is that Alex Pereira hit Herb Dean with a mini stiff arm. Nah, you're not needed here, sir. Pretty much Heisman on him. So immediately in his post-fight interview, and I'm sorry, I'm hosting space, I can't hear it, but I'm relying on the people, and they're like, oh, he just said he want to go up or going up to heavyweight. So that is the question at hand. We have the man, former middleweight champ, now light heavyweight champ, and with a defense. Already looking up at heavyweight.
It's possible. Everything. I'm a guy of a lot of faith, so everything is possible to when you believe, when you work hard, when you have the right people at your side. Everything is possible, and this is possible to point. He's proved that he's one of the best strikes in the world, one of the best MMA fights in the world right now. He's always proving that he's growing at his game. Work with Glove Teixeira, doing a great job with him, and it's possible. It's possible if him keep work hard. He have the experience to compete in Glory, the experience to compete in UFC. This time in the middleweight, in the light heavyweight, and he's a tall. He's a big guy, so it's possible, and I believe him. If he had the opportunity to fighting for the belt at heavyweight with a good camp, he can be a UFC heavyweight champion for sure.
All right, dude. I like that. Always positivity coming from Mr. Lins. And I get that, man. He's a man of skills. And like you said, lots of experience, plus good people behind him and around him, like Glover and many others. Now,
Yes.
I want to go into this a little further, though, because you've been there, you've done it. Can you give us a little bit of insight of maybe a major difference besides size, because we all have eyes, besides size? What is a big difference between heavyweight and light heavyweight?
The main difference is between light heavyweight and heavyweight is at the heavyweight. For me, all the guys have a hard punch. heavyweights don't have too much cardio. Some of them have, and some of them have speed. Some of that don't have too much speed. And in the light heavyweight, I think is right now is more difficult division because the guys fighting in heavyweight in light heavyweight is heavyweight guys, so they cut weight to light heavyweight. So they have a punch, they are strong, they they have a power in his hands. So it's more athletic, more cardio. So it's a different. This is why I say this is possible to Poatan get the belt at heavyweight because he's have these skills to get there and kick some ass.
Right, right. And something we talked about before, the speed, right? Speed is crucial in this game. Obviously, light heavyweight, like you said, many men are actually heavyweights. They're just cutting down to make it.
Yes.
So speed and coordination becomes really important. Yes, with these big men coming down. That's pretty much like you said, everybody's strong. So the difference, would you say, is speed and coordination?
Speed and not coordination, speed and cardio.
Cardio.
The gas tank. I
Got
think
it.
the guys fighting light heavyweight have more. They are more athlete. I think so. But some of them in heavyweight have athlete guys like Gain, Turn Spino, have a good guys in heavyweight that have a good cardio, good speed also.
Can Mr. Pereira be a 3 weight class world champion in the UFC? Ricky.
Man, this dude makes me not want to put any limitations on him. Originally, I would say no way. There's no way in the UFC we can have a 3 weight class, not with the jump in weight between each class, especially once you get up there. Once you start jumping 15, 20 pounds, like there's absolutely no way it's possible. But seeing his ability to touch people, not catch cleanly. That shot against Jamal Hill wasn't on the chin, on the temple, full force. It looked like it barely bottom 2 knuckles grazed his forehead. Out. Done. Eyes rolling back. He was out of there. So I can't really put any limitations on him. It's not fair to do so. And for everybody that's like, hey, at heavyweight, they're just going to grapple him. They're going to take him down. They're going to control him. Who's the last heavyweight we've seen that just comes out and shoots and shoots and shoots and shoots all day long and just holds people down? There really aren't that many. And for the ones that there are, they better hope they don't have any moments on the feet to exchange with Alex Pereira, because that dude on the feet, it's one simple touch and it's over. And it's not like any other heavyweight where, yeah, if they hit you with all their power, they can end it. Like, no, he's setting you up. He's looking for those opportunities and he can cash in on them. And with the leg kicks and everything, I can't really put any limitations on him. I still think him fighting a John Jones or him fighting a Tom Aspinall with their grappling with the heavier weight, depending on what he weighs in at, I would be interested to see that. Like, what is he actually going to come in on the scales at? It could get interesting for him. And obviously, you would think that he has problems on the ground, but hey, he's a black belt now, baby. Take him down. He's a black belt. Last time I checked, he actually might be the highest belt rank in the heavyweight division now that he's a black belt. So
That's right.
But no, in all seriousness, Alex Pereira, 3 division champ. Hell not. Why shouldn't he go up and try to chase that? First ever? Come on, man. Who else has that opportunity to go and do that? For me, I don't know if he'll do it. I don't know if he'll actually accomplish it, but there's no reason why I should say he shouldn't do it. I'm all for it.
There we go. All for it, because I'm all for it. I mean, dude, it's the way. Multiple belts, multiple championships. Let's go.
What can't Alex Pereira do, right? I mean, he came into the UFC, he worked his way up, beat everybody who was in his way. Now he's beating almost every champion or former champion they're putting in his way. The whole fight, this fight, you have to wonder, how strong is Alex Pereira? How hard does he punch? They just showed the other day his power cube numbers were off the charts. I mean, you step into a fight like this, and I don't think he was really throwing anything to Jamal's head really the whole fight. I was thinking he was setting up shit to the body, and as soon as he touched Jamal's head, lights off. And like you said, Ricky, punch landed on those bottom 3 knuckles, the knuckles that you really don't want to land a punch with, but he still landed it with it. And it's kind of crazy how strong he is and how powerful he is. And there's no guys, like you guys said as well, in the heavyweight division that are shooting takedowns over and over again. So I don't think there's a person who can really stop him unless you put up even like Curtis Blades, like he's not going to be the guy shooting takedowns on Alex all the time. I really don't think there's a heavyweight that can stop him. I think there's heavyweights that can give him a challenge, but I think Alex does the same thing he's doing at every division. I think if he wants to move up to heavyweight, there's a reason he wants to move up, and he knows what he's doing, and his coaches know what he's doing, and everybody's behind him. They're not just going to let him do it willy-nilly. He has a plan.
He has a plan. You know who else has a plan? The UFC has a plan. And the UFC's plan is they need superstars. They need pay-per-view movers. Alex Pereira has just joined that club. He's a knockout artist. He's a headliner. He's a winner, multi-weight class champion, multi-level champion. Come on, Rob. And with that being said, he is a bona fide star. He is a bona fide ticket seller. All right. And he's a phenomenon, right? His stone face, he has a whole, the whole look, the whole image, the whole fan base. He's got things going. I'm going to point back to the business aspect of things. All right. When Alex Pereira first got signed, I was wrong. I said, dude, where he's at, career-wise experience, where Izzy's at, like they're never going to intersect. What kind of signing is this? This doesn't make any sense. Look how many guys are between him and Izzy. Look how many grapplers there are. I mean, all respect, this guy's in his 30s. I don't know how he's going to start wrestling like that. I said all this stuff. And like Jamal Hill, I got to eat it, okay? Because I was wrong. All right, I was dead wrong. And they put him against guys, I'm going to be honest, they put him against guys that aren't the heaviest of grapplers, and he blew them up. I don't think the UFC is going to do something ridiculous now and cut off their own funds. They got a guy. I don't think they're going to put him up in the I don't think he faces Curtis Blades. He doesn't find a Romanov. He doesn't fight Tybura. None of these guys. He's not going to fight any of those guys. He's going to fight somebody who can be hit. that's the facts. Now, talking about getting hit and the hit and being hit and all the misconceptions within fighting. All right. That's why we bring experts on the show, to be honest. We bring experts on the show to get better perspective on things. But you got 3 guys here. We've all been punched for free. We've all been stretched out and choked for free. And no, not like that. This is maybe. We have a deep appreciation for the sport. We are fans, but we're also martial artists. We know what it's like to sweat and bleed and get hurt, and we respect what it's all like to deal with that kind of stuff. Ricky, you died over there, bro. What's happening, bro? You died over there, dog. Shape melted. The thing is, we really appreciate the techniques, what they're going through, and how the difference between reality and perception, I guess, is what I'm really trying to get to. And I feel like today's MMA fan base, because the sport has grown in such levels, we're now reaching an exceedingly high number of uneducated fans. Is that the nicest way I could say it? Because that's how I feel. And when you see stuff, you guys got guys posting stuff and just blatantly lying, putting stuff up there that's just dead ass wrong. One of those things I want to talk about is the stepping, since we're on Alex Pereira, and on purposely cheating, because you're not supposed to do that. You're not really supposed to be doing that. But at the same time, there's things to do and things not to do, and fighting is situational. I'm not a super expert, but when people are saying, "Oh, he's cheating," no. If you've ever done lefty versus righty, orthodox versus southpaw, it just happens. If you're a good striker, like Alex Pereira is great, he's constantly working that lead foot for the advantage or the angle or the perception of that attack. All of that being said, I got an expert opinion from Mr. Philpe Lins on this issue, and he shared it with us.
Yeah, I think I'm working with before with a coach that he teach me this technique to put my foot in uh, under the foot of my opponent. So
Okay.
he's don't moving. So this is one technique. But to get the all power, 100% of power is no good to 100% power.
Okay, so you can use it to manipulate opponent's movement, but for
Yes.
power, but for power, it's
For
no
power
good.
is I think is the less power. But Potan, I don't know what he has in his hand. I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
When
like
he catch the guy, the guy is out. Yeah.
yeah,
So
Poetan a little bit special. He can do whatever
yeah,
with his left hand.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay, that
But
makes
this is a I don't know if he doing this technique because he wants or because he like he's moved to throw the left hook and putting his foot in the under no under no what I say he's putting his foot in the foot of Jamal Hill. I don't
yes,
know if it was his want or not. I don't know.
I get it. So you can't tell if you wanted to do it or it just kind of happened.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
it's like yeah,
I got you. I
yeah. This
got
is
you,
what I
brother.
want to say. This is what I want to say.
Hey, you can speak way more English than I can Portuguese, sir. So you good. You're all good. I got you, brother. I got you. All right. So, and thank you for that insight. That's really important. Cutting off or limiting. See, I don't even know English and it's my first language. Limiting your opponent's movement is
Movement,
very important.
yeah,
Is very
yeah.
important. Okay. Learning once again. Thank you, Mr. Lins. I want to tell you my perspective. My perspective on this is that nobody steps on the foot on purpose while trying to deliver a knockout punch with the lead hand. Main reason is you don't have all your power in it, nor your balance, and that's going to take away from it. Now, that's my perspective. I got schooled on a little bit of on that theology from Felipe, but I'm going to turn it to the boys. I want to hear what they have to say. I know Sean be doing some kickboxing. What about you, bro?
Yeah, I mean, when you're fighting for that outside foot the whole time, I mean, you're gonna end up stepping on each other's feet, especially when you have fucked up looking feet like Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill. Something's gonna happen. I think they both wear a size 36 shoe combined. So I mean, it's something's gonna you gotta step on toes. But I don't think when you see fans putting it out there like, oh, he's doing this on purpose, he's a genius, like guys, you're reading into it too much. Yeah, he's good, like, but something like that's not really going to play in your favor. You might be able to pull off something, but guys, that's really not striking technique that you guys use. It's nothing crazy. You never really saw him do it before. And I think in the same fight, Jamal stepped on Alex's foot. So it's not. It just goes to show that this is just a southpaw orthodox situation. I'm sure you see it in almost every southpaw orthodox fight. Just pay more attention.
That's it. Pay more attention, folks. Ricky always paying attention.
Always, always. If we're gonna talk about intentional and unintentional fouls, I mean, fucking stepping on somebody's foot compared to a dick kick. Like, come on, what are we talking about, guys? Like, we're just trying to make stories because there was no story. To be honest with you, for like MMA Twitter is a little bit different. You're gonna see some crazy weird shit on MMA Twitter. It's just what's gonna happen. People are gonna have a million different angles and opinions and point of views on every little thing. But for the mainstream, for the other people, for the shows, for the Daniel Cormiers and all these people that are picking up these things, it was just too short of a fight. It was such a short fight that they need something to talk about. How do I possibly talk about this fight that only lasted this long for the next 4 days? I know. I'll say that he stepped on his foot on purpose, either to cheat or that's just how slick he was, whatever angle you want to play. The truth of the matter was, he was just trying to fucking land a left hook, dude. He was trying to land a big left. Jamal Hill was trying to sit down on a straight left to intercept it, and Jamal should have zigged, and he zagged and got knocked out. There was nothing else to the foot placement. It was just like you guys had mentioned already, southpaw versus orthodox. It happens all the time. I mean, go watch boxing, even southpaw versus southpaw, orthodox versus. You still see people stepping on each other's feet. It's never on purpose. It's just because they're trying to get inside or trying to get that outside foot position. That's all it is, man. Nothing else to it.
Nothing else to it. And we got to get into the next one because there's more to it, but not that topic. I think we killed that topic. Plus, with a expert opinion on that subject, killed. On to the next one, which is Arman versus Charles. The choke, was it tight as people think? Now, once again, glad to have expert opinion on this. Someone that's choked out tons of people. Mr. Felipe Lins.
I think that choke was tight. Was tight. In the belly down, the choke was tight. Today I watched one video that Arman on Instagram or Twitter, his coach, I think his coach is from Russia, teach him to say like that. If you choke, you need some technique to, you have a 2 minutes. So you need take a breath, take calm, and the other guy is gonna pass the seconds. The other guy is the choke's gonna go away. So I think he's do like that. I think the choke was good. Belly in the down, the two bellies in the down, the choke was good. And I think was Arman is a tough guy and strong mind. Take calm right there and get out of the position. I think the choke was good. I think the choke, if he stay there, he's gonna out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that point of view. So, and not a lot, maybe people, some people might not know, it's literally impossible for you to maintain 100% squeeze for a long period of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Mr. Lins is expanding into. And for those of you who've been in martial arts and you know, but those of you who don't, that's why they tell you when you start to choke or squeeze or anything, you start like at 80 and slowly increase it and build up to get to 100. But that is wonderful. That's actually, I appreciate that you telling me you've seen that. How the coach told him to stay calm, relax, use the oxygen that he has to pass through the squeeze. That is high level. I would have panicked. I would have been out cold. I'm just saying. Thank you so much.
Was a high level mind work, Armando.
Excellent, dude. Mr. Lins, I always learning from you, brother. I thank you. I will say this. Man, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been on the mats. My jiu-jitsu is old. Okay, it made me not even suitable for this era to even comment on, to be honest. But I will say that we have a in the room jiu-jitsu expert, so I'll go to him first. Ricky, what do you see in this near sub
I'm looking for
situation?
I'm looking for the jiu-jitsu expert you spoke about. Definitely not an expert, far from it. But somebody who does watch the sport a lot and appreciates the sport a lot. And one thing listen, to be an expert is not hard. All you have to do is just find experts and get experts' opinions, and you'll be all right. When I saw the choke at first, you guys were in the spaces, the people that were in the spaces with me, I was like, it's not as deep as you think. Those Darce chokes, they're a lot more effective when the opponent, when the person you're choking is on their side, as opposed to belly down. That was just my first initial thought, and especially when Arman himself kind of put himself belly down, I was like, he's trying to relieve some of that pressure and trying to relieve some of that choke. Now, it doesn't mean it wasn't tight. Doesn't mean it wasn't uncomfortable. It 100% was very uncomfortable for Sarukian, but he wasn't that close to finishing it. And the expert I turned to is Henry Gracie. Henry Gracie, luckily, posts a video right after every submission attempt you see, every submission, whether it's successful or not. Look for Henry Gracie on Twitter to post a video of a breakdown. He'll demonstrate it for you and tell you why it worked, how it was set up, or why it didn't work. And in this situation, he explained it perfectly and exactly what I was kind of thinking of why he wasn't able to finish it. Charles, that is. Henry explained it perfectly, and he said, hey, when you're in that position, one of the better defenses, one of the defenses that a lot of people do practice, is to go belly down, completely flat on your stomach, like Sarukian did, to relieve some of that pressure off of the choke for you. And interesting enough, Arman Sarukian and their team post something afterwards in practice, in training. They were prepared for Charles Oliveira to catch a Darce, and they were going over that specific instance on how to go belly down like that to relieve some of that pressure from it. The thing for me about this fight and kind of my the one little gripe I consistently have about the UFC, well, maybe I have a few more, but the one thing in particular is that situation going belly down like that. I just hate the fact that he can't get punished for it. Like, if there were knees to a grounded opponent, the scorecards, I know one judge gave that round to Charles anyway because of the submission attempt. But imagine if he tries to get that submission attempt, and then right when he goes belly down decides, I'm going to start kneeing you in the side of the head over and over until you either go out or have to go to your back, and it becomes a much bigger gap in between damage done by either one of the fighters. And that would actually lead somebody, and it's not just that specific instance, it's anybody else who just concedes to that front headlock position because they know they can't get hit. All those things play a factor in watching Aljamain Sterling, watching Arman Tsarukyan, watching a lot of these guys shoot, fail, and they are completely protected by the rule set. That's my only issue. As far as the choke goes, wasn't as tight as people were making it seem. Charles said he thought he went out. He definitely didn't go out. I don't think he was quite that close to going out either.
And there we go. We got, multiple different perspectives on this topic and a fighter's perspective on this topic. And I'm just going to say this, man. This is fighting. This isn't horseshoes or hand grenades, right? Like, it could be as good as it can be close, but it don't mean nothing. You got to finish. And that's just the way it is. And I don't like when people go overboard, like say, oh, the fight should have been called, or it should, like, I don't like any instances of people saying a fight should have been stopped unless obviously a person's is like fully knocked out, getting beat up. But in grappling, you got to trust the refs. They know their shit. They're right there. They can hear, they can tell if they're really out or not. So I don't want to hear conspiracy theory from anybody later on about, oh, how he was out. No. But since we're going to give refs credit, maybe we have to go on the other side. Another issue that is just, I feel is just a prevalent issue within the sport of MMA as a whole. This is not even directed at UFC 300, to be honest. This is, if I could easily make this cut off all of 2023 and up to where we're at here at 2024, I could easily say my opinion with no stats. I didn't do any research, just going from the gut, that there's just more fouls. There's more fouls in the game now. There's way more fouls in the game. I've been watching a long time. You guys been watching a long time too. Tell me. I think the fouls levels have been increasing. And my take on this is that there's not enough repercussion. Not enough repercussion for the athlete. You gotta have some kind of penalty, more than a warning, right? And that's just my thoughts. But these things are situational. And once again, I'm really glad that we have Philpe Lins to get into these topics, because it's not as easy as it looks sometimes when you're really in there, and getting a good perspective on eye pokes, fence grabs, and other things. Turn to him.
I think the fouls always happen. What happened right now is the judges, the athletic commissions is working more to preserve the athlete. The eye poke, the kicks in the head, some positions is a foul. So I think the fouls always happen this year, last year, and years before. But right now, like I said, the athletic commissions working more to penalize the athletes that doing more fouls. This is what I think. This is because the fouls happen more right now.
Okay. Now
you got it.
I got what you're saying. I know you. I understand you, brother. With me, I'm thinking like I want to take points from people. I'll be honest. Like I'm like, hey, take away the point. But after hearing some of the replies and how it is a natural reaction, right? Like I always thought, oh, grabbing the fence, oh, that's 100% gotta be cheating. But after hearing some other points of views, like, well, we're human, right? And like we can't undo human nature to a degree. And when you fall down and try to support yourself, it's a natural thing. It's a half-ass wall. It's there. It happens. But eye pokes, I'm going to stay adamant on this. Eye pokes, you can try to blame the athletes. You can try to blame this or that. I'm going to blame the commission. Yes, you commission. Yes. Because you guys are the one writing the rules. If you would have just rewrite the rules, it's pretty simple. I mean, you use your computer, you don't have to use your hands. You just erase the part of the rules that says you can keep your fingers up and down, not pointing. That's all hogwash and gibberish nonsense. The hand should be near closed position at all times. Not saying it's got to be closed, but near closed at all times besides grappling situations. You would not be poking people in the eye. There you go. That's all I want to say about that. But I want to get some feedback from these guys because there's a lot of fouls. There's a lot of different fouls. I don't even get to talk about them all because they're happening all the time. Sean, what's your favorite foul? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, to be honest with you, right now, all of them. If I was a fighter, I would go out there knowing that these fouls are around, and like especially a guy who has like a Brundage this weekend. I mean, you fight fair, you do what you got to do, but dude, if he wanted to go out there and steal something, throw a thumb or something in Bo Nickel's eye, and you got him fucked up in the first round, I mean, what are they going to do? Nothing. They're not going to take a point from you. They're going to do nothing. Bo Nickel tries to take you down. Grab onto the fence. They're not going to do anything to you. Go kick him in the nuts. They're not going to do anything to you. Till you do it a second, third, or fourth time, then maybe we get a point taken. Maybe we get something taken. So if I'm a fighter right now, I'm realizing this. I'm seeing who my ref is, and I'm doing all these things. Not because I'm a dirty fighter. It's just because take advantage of it when they're not going to do anything to you. I mean, it's crazy to me that they're not doing anything about it. You see eye pokes in almost every fight now. You see dick kicks in almost every fight, multiple, that aren't getting any repercussions from it. So I think we got to start throwing out red cards. Maybe there needs to be a red card in the UFC. Maybe there has to be automatic point deductions. Start doing it right off the bat. We got a couple refs who are hard asses, but then there's a couple people who are softies. So back to what Rob said about the commission, tighten up, get it together.
There we go. Ricky, what's your thought on all these fouls and stuff?
Tighten up, bro. Tighten up. No, and I mean, Sean even said they're not going to deduct any points to your third or fourth time. Well, not if your name's Chris Weidman. Then maybe they won't deduct a point till the fifth or sixth time. You know what I mean? So like, what are we even doing here? Accidents happen. I understand that, but this whole, I know you didn't do it on purpose. I know you didn't do it on purpose from the refs. It's like, so if a foul is unintentional, you could keep doing it. Like, how unintentional is it if you keep doing it? If you do it 2, 3, 4 times in a fight, how unintentional was it? Are you incapable of bending your fingers? Are you just, there's magnets in your hand that just grab onto the cage? That's how unintentional it is. They have to start taking some points. And yes, we can go to the commission, and that's obviously at the top level on how to fix what's been going on. But when you're in the ring, when you're in the octagon, the ref has the ability to dictate how clean or how not clean that fight's going to happen. Last time I checked, you know the rules in the back. They let you know what to do and what not to do, what is illegal in the back. So when you come out and you get your first fence grab, that's not your first warning. That's your second warning. So then how many more warnings until we deduct a point? If you are low blows, we've seen Cameron Simon, right? We've seen him before. I don't know if he's ever had a point deducted, but I think he has more fouls than he does fights. Like, it's every fight for some of these guys, and nothing happens. People complain about John Jones all the time about eye pokes. Nothing's going to happen in those instances. You have to start being a little more assertive. If you're one of these refs, being more assertive, take points away, and you'll start seeing guys change their approach to these fights, change what they do, because exactly what Sean said, what's stopping you? What's stopping you from pulling on somebody's shorts? What's stopping you from digging inside of somebody's glove, grabbing the fence, poking them in the eye, kicking them in the nuts? What's stopping you from doing all of those things in one fight if you're not going to get it deducted? Winning's more important than anything else, right? So what's stopping these guys from doing that? You can't just leave it up to the fighters to say, oh, some guys just don't do it, some guys do. You got to start being a little more assertive, start policing these illegal moves a little more often.
And that's what it comes down to. So Ricky just laid it down. He believes they need to be taking those point deductions more seriously, asserting them more frequently, laying the law down on some stuff. And I feel the same way, but I'm a little bit more gentle. Like for dick kicks, okay? Guys, ladies, we all know you be kicking, and it's just like human anatomy, dude. It's like the shin wants to go there. But it just happens. There's too many variables in just kicking each other that leads to groin strikes. So I'm a little bit more forgiving there. eye pokes. To me, that's career altering, possibly. That's completely game changing. There's no cup on your eye. At least you have a cup on your groin. But the one that bugs me the most and gets not enough hate from the public, if you will, is grabbing the inside of the gloves. My man, we've seen guys like hanging off full blown, like 2 hands deep inside, riding, like getting dragged across the octagon,
Pulling
even
the
like
tape, pulling the tape off the gloves, damn near.
yeah, dude. Like, there's no way you should be supporting your whole body weight on my glove, champ. So, with that being said, I don't know. Like that one to me is a pretty easy to point deduction. But then I'll counter myself and say I don't want refs determining fights that much. Sean, we got to hear from you. Refs, what should they be doing?
I think there might need to be a refreshing period where you just tell all the refs, hey, we're cracking down on this now, we're changing shit up, and then you can maybe ease back off of it as things go and let it go maybe just a little bit. But I think you need to get to the point where you crack down on everything, just how you clean up a city or something. You got to go in hard, and then you dial it back a little bit. Like you do the same thing with MMA fighters. You go in, crack down hard, and then you can dial back when things get better and you can trust them a little more. But I'm not saying dial back to where it is now. Just dial back a little bit.
PC Strickland for police chief of your local city. All right, he's got a plan. He's got a plan, and he's gonna get rid of the bad guys. I'll say this, that I kind of like that. I was gonna play it off like me and Ricky have talked about in the past, that like all major sports do it. You see it all the time. A rash of things will happen, and the refs will just come and just throwing flags and penalties and citations at anybody and everybody. Even coaches be getting it. So I think so. I support the tough love method. Sean proposed there. Let's go with that. Now, talking about tough love. All right, the love is tough. The love is well, no, maybe in short, maybe not like that.
Whoa.
Love in short supply between these two legends of the game. I'll use that word freely and liberally here. Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz, the other BMF dudes, right? The alternative BMF dudes. How do the former? Because saying that you're a former BMF sounds terrible. I think that sounds like an insult. Like, oh, you were bad, but now you're crap. So Masvidal Diaz in boxing. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about this because it really shows the advancement of fighters, the advancement of the fight game and business. This event, if you didn't know, is in a 3-way promotional partnership. Hold on. So the streaming platform that it's on, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Oops, I guess we're not getting sponsored by them. And then Masvidal's fight promotion and Nate's fight promotion, all in the mix, bringing you this event. And Anthony Pettis is fighting somebody. Small brain here. I forgot who his opponent is, but he's the co-main event. The point is, MMA guys in boxing, no longer boxing boxers, because that was a slanted uphill battle, fighting each other in boxing. I'm going to go round table style here.
I love this, bro. I love this. This is proof that the MMA fighter is a complete fighter. We work in boxing, Muay Thai. You can do boxing, you can fight in Muay Thai, you can fight in Jiu-Jitsu, you can fight in wrestling. A lot of things, all the martial arts. So I love this. It's very important for us, for MMA fighter, like to prove that to everybody that MMA is the best martial arts ever.
That is right.
I love.
Ricky, do you want to see more? Or first off, do you want to see this? And are you a fan of MMA fighters boxing each other in boxing?
It's not something that I asked for. Like, I don't want to see it. If I have MMA fighters, I want to see you do MMA. It's like watching golf when it's Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. It's cool. I'll watch it, but I'm not asking for it. I'd rather see you guys play the Super Bowl, right? If I see LeBron James and Kevin Durant play some flag football, I'll watch it. That's pretty cool. Not as much as I want to see you guys go head-to-head in the NBA Finals. So when I see MMA guys, Masvidal and Diaz, it's like, okay, so that's cool, but then Nate can't guillotine you. Nate can't work off his back. Masvidal can't kick you like the way he was kicking the hell out of Nate in the first fight. So then what are we watching? We're watching a limited fight between two guys. Why do I want to see that? I don't want to see it. Will I watch it? Sure. Just because I'm a combat junkie, guys. It has nothing to do with the fact that I think this fight's just like, oh, it's must-see TV. You got to watch it. I have a problem. Don't be like me, okay? Do something else. But me and these guys, we're going to watch it. But we're going to watch everything. We watch a couple people that work at Waffle House fight each other in something called bare knuckle boxing. Like, this is going to be something that is watchable. And as far as other MMA guys coming into boxing, it just depends on who it is, right? That's really all it is for me. If it's Sean Strickland that ends up fighting Jake Paul, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I want to watch that. I will sign up for that. MMA fighters, we want to see you do your thing. Stick to your guns. Stick to what you do well, especially if it's against other MMA fighters. Like I said, if it's someone who I think can move over and compete in boxing, I mean, we all loved Francis Ngannou against Tyson Fury. That was freaking awesome. Blew our minds. If it's someone that we believe in that can do it, but come on, man. We saw Nate against Jake Paul. Yeah, I have no interest to see him box again. I'm gonna watch it because I have a problem.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that because I'll be honest, I was suckered into that because the whole Nate scrap, fight anybody kind. So I was like, oh sweet. But to be honest, the boxing wasn't all that good. Sean, it was ugly. Sean, you're with us. We're gonna be watching the fights together. We'll be on the space together watching Jorge versus Nate no matter what. But is MMA fighters fighting each other in boxing something you want to watch?
MMA fighters fighting each other in boxing? I don't know, but like you said, Ricky, we're going to watch it anyway. I think what I would want to see, but would never happen, is a prime MMA fighter with good boxing taking on a boxer. I like those matchups. They're fun every now and then, but we don't get them. We never had them. You might have had that Conor Floyd one, but Floyd was out of his prime. Conor was in his prime. You don't get it. You had that one. You're getting Anderson Silva when he's out of his prime fighting Jake Paul. You're getting guys out of their prime, retired fighters boxing. What is this? This isn't the BMF, retired BMF title. This is the AARPMF. That's what this title is. It's not the BMF. It is the AARPMF. That is what they're fighting for. I love Nate Diaz. I love Jorge Masvidal. But why are we watching two old guys box? If you guys want to have an MMA fight, go have an MMA fight. But this boxing stuff is bullshit. You guys have MMA backgrounds. If you guys just don't want to have an MMA fight, so be it. But that's what you guys are known for. Put it on for the fans.
Yeah, it seems as though it's like just a shaking of the hands. You know what I mean? Hey, there's a little more juice to be squeezed. Let's just partner up on this and squeeze out as much as we can. We're not really going to try to kill each other out here,
Yep.
Whoa, boy, that's a good one, Ricky. I really like that, dude. I actually feel exactly the way you feel on that. Man, that fight is that fight does feel like a little bit of a squeeze, but guess what? Still watching it. Don't care. Go, Sean.
So are you guys thinking the same thing here? Is this just a glorified spar? We're not going to see anything more than a glorified spar.
Yeah,
maybe, dude.
Okay, I would be more into this being a fight if both of their own individual production companies weren't in the mix. So it's not like they're both getting paid to fight, which is normal. Now it's like we're getting paid for fight and we're getting paid for everything else that comes with it. So like Ricky just said, there's a little too much handshakery. There's way too many things to agree upon to have a badass fight. Like, dude, if we wanted to fight each other, we want to fight each other. I don't want to make a nice business together, right? Like, seems fishy. All right, you know what's fishy? The business of boxing. The business is very fishy. Everything in boxing is fishy. I've been a long time fan of boxing. I'm not hating on it. We still watch it. We still support it. We still love it. But there is corruption abound. It's weird. Stuff happening all the time. And we talk about it. The fight game in boxing is basically like make as much noise, be as chaotic as possible so people pay attention to it and care about it for the little bit of time that there is. Well, this weekend, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia coming live to you. Biggest fight in boxing around right now. There's nothing bigger fight in their fight world than this. This is a huge story, folks, for multiple reasons. But I guess the big story is Ryan Garcia. We talked about him last week. Since then, even more stuff from him, even more stuff from Haney. And I gotta say, I gotta give Ricky a lot of credit, man. Ricky said last week, if you haven't seen our first episode, go check it out. He was like, dude, I think Haney started to lose it. Like, I think he's not in this as like whatever. Garcia's tactics is starting to trickle in. And boy, did it, because he didn't even make it through a press conference.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was looking at, man. I was looking at the interactions on Twitter, looking on the interactions between the two of them, and how frequently Devin Haney. It wasn't even about Haney going back and forth with Ryan. Haney was going back and forth with people in the comment section about Ryan. I'm like, he's in his head. I don't know if Haney. Again, I'm telling you guys, Haney's going to win. I'm telling you now, Haney's going to win this fight. Haney's just better everywhere than Ryan. But if there's one thing you can do if you're Ryan Garcia is get the guy off his game a little bit. He's a sweet boxer. He stays on the outside. He can pick you apart. He's going to hit you, and he's so unhittable. He's untouchable in there. Well, what if I piss him off? What if I get him to the point where he wants to knock me out so bad that it becomes a slugfest? And if it's a slugfest, who knows? Now it's not about who's the best boxer. Now it's about who catches who cleanly. And now maybe Ryan has a chance. And I've been telling you guys from the beginning, Ryan Garcia is a genius, man. I thought he was a psychopath. I thought he was on some meds that weren't prescribed. I thought something was going on with Ryan Garcia, but now I see it. Now I see how he's doing it, and I love what he's doing, man. I'm not even going to lie. Some of it can go a little bit too far. Some of it's just like, Jesus Christ. But he does have Haney pissed off, and maybe we see a pissed off Haney. Maybe we see a Haney that doesn't stick to the game plan that should have him beat Ryan Garcia. Maybe he goes away from it a little bit because Ryan has him thinking, I'm going to try to kill this dude now.
You know, that was all good stuff. And I know Sean's thinking about some deep analytics right now. I'm putting a lot of pressure on you, bro. What are you thinking?
See, I mean, I see where you're going, Sicko. I see where you're going, bro. But I want to say that when you're undisputed like Devin Haney, I think there's very little that can really throw you off a game when you're at this level, prime, fighting like he's fighting. I don't think there's a lot that can throw you off your game, especially having 6 fights against this guy before. I know it was young. I knew it was over the years, but come on. He knows what's coming. I don't really think a new version of Ryan Garcia is going to throw him off. And on top of that, it makes me wonder all of these tactics that Ryan Garcia is using and going crazy or using these new styles that we haven't seen him use before. It makes me wonder, are you focusing on, not you, Sicko, but is Ryan focusing on this stuff too much and not the fight at hand? Is he more focused on, hey, let me get into Devin's head, let me do these things instead of focusing on the boxing? I mean, when you have the biggest fight in front of you, I would want to turn off my phone, go lock in, go send me up to a mountain, put me on the shelf, and let's get to it. We got 8 weeks of fight camp, whatever it is. Get to it. Not go on Twitter, not make these, hey, I'm crazy, I'm going to get in his head type of thing. Go to it. Go fight this motherfucker. Stop going on the line, talking all this shit, making big media stories. Go fight the motherfucker.
Hey, man. All right. All white. Okay.
All white. Looking nice. Okay. Come through.
Oh, man. So, Garcia is got it, man. Garcia's got this guy. He's got him. As much as Conor had Aldo, Garcia has Haney. Now, will it play out the same? Is it going to work out the same in the ring? No. But mentally here, you got Devin Haney wearing a skeleton vest with dark shades in an interview saying, I don't think this guy's taking it seriously, while this guy, being Ryan Garcia, is actually dressed for an interview. That's in the head, dude. That's in the head.
You said guy. I just want to correct you. Female, woman, her, Ryan Garcia. All right.
Oh, okay. Correction. Correct me. Oh my goodness, I got it all wrong. Well, let's go back. And that was a great tweet by him. If you guys haven't seen it, post whatever. Sorry, Elon, I keep pissing you off. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it because it's still that good. But he goes out there, and I'm gonna speak on my side of it. I'm glad. I'm glad he made that joke. People need to lighten up, make jokes, and be honest. Now, one thing we do here when we talk about big fights, upcoming fights, is we rate the expectations and we get some feedback from the people as well. So, using X platform, I'll throw out polls during the week. So if you see us, comment on the poll. You'll get credited. Your name and stuff will get credited. I'll say what you said, and we get a pulse of what the people want. Now, coming for this big boxing fight, well, the expectations. Come on, Rob. The expectations for this fight is 6.5, which puts it square at average. There's an average anticipation for this fight, which is not surprising, given the fact that it's boxing. Boxing rarely has a huge push by like overextended means unless it's heavyweights. Okay, well, I bet you when we get closer to Tyson Usyk, this expectation chart that we share with you is going to be much higher. But personally, my expectations for this fight isn't 8. I'm going to go 8 on this fight because, well, I like the characters in this match. I think Haney's a badass boxer. But now, I was already a fan of Garcia, but I am a full-blown fan of Garcia. Win or lose, buddy, I'm there. Let's go to Sean. What about you? What's your expectation rating for this fight?
So as much as I kind of been putting Ryan Garcia down and saying he's crazy and saying these tactics don't work, it's making me want to watch the fight. So expectation-wise, I'm around a 7.2 right now, and that's a lot higher than a normal boxing card for me. I like I don't know what else is going on the card. I'm not totally dived into this card yet, but you're putting a Ryan Garcia Devin Haney match up there. You got an undisputed title. You got a guy who's acting weird. I'm going to watch it. 7.2 for me. I think the average casuals are going to tune in. I think it'll be a fun little card to watch. I think there's going to be some memes made out of this one for sure.
Meme City, here we come. Ricky, what about you?
A little bit higher for me, but not too high. It's about an 8.2 on my scale. It has climbed. I would be right there with Sean somewhere in those like mid-7 areas to start, just because, again, like I said, Devin Haney, the amount of confidence I have him to win this fight, it can't be any higher. So because of that, it wasn't very high. Now, has it increased because I think the fight is starting to be more even than I originally thought? No, it's just because it's entertaining now. It has just become really, really entertaining, and thanks to Ryan Garcia. Now, Devin Haney has played his part by reacting. He could have just ignored everything, and it would have just been Ryan being Ryan, and this dude's crazy and he needs help. But the fact that Devin Haney continues to react is like, hey, maybe Ryan Garcia is not crazy. And because of that is why it kind of went from those mid-7s to an 8.2.
Thank you, Ryan Garcia, for sweetening the pot, if you will. Now, I'm going to read some comments from the people commenting on their expectations for this upcoming match. Tony 240XX, Tony 240SX, Tony, what's up, bro? Nice card, by the way. I think Haney will box Ryan like Regis Prograis, one side beatdown. If you guys don't know that fight, that was these two highly skilled boxers. It looked like a highly skilled boxer and a guy that didn't box that much. And Regis Prograis ain't bad. So that's how good Haney is. All right. CG Orange Crush. Garcia better come with it, man. I don't know what's wrong with him. No t-shirt disrespecting, and he needs to start being more serious. Granted, it's all up for show and sell and hype shit up, but what happened to being humble, a student of the game? All right, thank you, CG. And my last comment I want to throw in here, just because I think it's hilarious. Shout out Sensual Chocolate, crying laughing face. It's not gonna top Holloway. Chill. No, it's not gonna beat Holloway. Nothing's gonna beat Holloway. Nothing is beating Holloway. Understand that.
I don't know, man. What if Ryan just pulls out a day before? That'd be hilarious if he was like, you know what, this was all just to mess with you guys. I'm not fighting him. I'm out.
That would be terrible, bro. I don't wish that even on me, Ricky Bobby.
Hilarious, bro.
Oh,
I'm in it for the entertainment aspect of this fight. I'm all for the entertainment aspect. The fighting aspect of it is not what's getting me into this fight. It's all the entertainment aspect of it.
Fair enough. Well, we're coming to the final portion of our show. We're going to say thanks, and we're going to say some heads up of some things coming that you should probably know about. Friday, which this episode comes out. So I really hope you're watching this, and then you would miss this announcement. There is a PFL event, the third of the regular season first chamber round of the tournament is happening. And this time in Chicago, 9 out of 10 confidence as I say this live and I forgot. But yes, check them out. You guys know last week I went to the Las Vegas event. I'm certifiably telling you with all of my heart, with confidence, that the PFL MMA live shows are the best value $4 in the MMA entertainment world. I'm telling you this. So if the PFL comes anywhere near you within a respectable amount of travel distance, I highly suggest you buy one of their very well-priced tickets, and you're going to meet a lot of top-level fighters there. You're going to have a really good time. Move it over to Ricky. What you got? What you thinking, man?
Friday morning. Obviously, this comes out a little bit later, so you might miss it. But don't miss every Friday morning 4-ounce Muay Thai, one championship. This one's going to be a banger as well. That's all I got, man, as we look forward to, obviously, Garcia, Haney, and then get back on track with the UFC the week after.
Back on track with Sean.
Yeah, 4-ounce Muay Thai, sick. I'm a big proponent of it. All I'm really thinking of is I got this one dude down the street from my house who beats people up at the park. I'm looking forward to that car. Just kidding. I don't got a dude down the street from my house who's beating people up at the park. I would love for that to be happening. But I'm really looking for the Haney Garcia card. That's the main thing I'm thinking about. Yeah, looking forward to that.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I will say this. One, I want to thank our very special guest, Philpe Lins. Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you, as always, man. We've appreciated you every time you come around. Mr. Lins, thank you so much for your time, your knowledge, and education. Brother, I appreciate you so much. Who do you want to thank? Tell us some people you want to thank. Obviously, to your family, to Brazil. Thank you for your time. But you, brother, who do you want to thank?
I want to say thank you for you, brother. I appreciate always talk with you. I want to have this opportunity to say that UFC renew my contract. I want to fight. I want to still fighting at the high level. So renew my contract. I want to do some fights. I'm 38 years old. I want to do some fights and hang up my gloves at the top of my MMA career. So give me the opportunity to kick some ass, to keep my win streak. And let's go. I'm ready.
That is right. You heard him. Did you hear him? Hey, 38-year-old brother right here. 38-year-old right. We're still good. We're ready for it. Yes. UFC, you know who you need. You know you need some fights. You know you need a finisher. This man right here, Philpe Lins, everybody. This is the guy you want to see. Mr. Lins, all the appreciation in the world. Thank you so much, bro. Can't wait to talk to you again. And I have a feeling we'll see you in the UFC real soon.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
See you again.
God bless you. God bless your family. Have a great day, my friend. See you soon, my brother.
See you again, my friend. Later. Love you. Take care.
Love you. Bye. Take care.
I want to shout out to these gentlemen, of course. Shout out the AllStar Sports once again. Get the free app. A shout out to our boy, John Hill Cole. I also want to shout out everybody in our spaces, and it's hard to do so because every time you do some, it feels like you're leaving some people out. So Ricky shouted out some people last time. I'm gonna shout out 2 names this time. Next week we'll shout out 2 more, and we'll just keep going. All right. So this week I want to shout out Ball Guy. All right. Hey, look at that. I shout out Ball Guy. I want to shout out Spawn. Thank you guys for supporting for so long.
Shout out Edgy too, knocking people out.
What am I doing in life?
Good shout out. We almost forgot about Edgy, bro.
I almost, but kind of not really, but thank you. Yeah, so shout out at Khalid 1994.
Say his handle name, bro.
What is it? What is it? I forgot what it was. You gotta tell what is it? What is
Listen,
it? Tell me.
nobody in this room's allowed to say it.
Oh, well, that's that. Okay, I'm saying the act part. I'm saying the part you can say. I'm saying the part you can say. Okay, so we'll just leave it at that. 5% doesn't qualify me for that one. But yes, we've been enjoying that man on his.
Where's Mike Perry when you need him?
Where is he, dude? Where are you? Hey, Mike, what's up?
Speaking of that, did you see that Mike Perry said that Darren Till was offered $2 million to fight him in the bare knuckle fighting and denied it? And I don't know how much true that is because it's coming from Mike Perry's mouth. But
Who
I
was
thought that was
offered?
interesting. Darren Till.
Oh shit!
And
I would assume that they would
passed
do
it up.
that. We'll look more into it. We'll bring that
Yeah,
to
we'll
you
do
next
that
episode.
next
We'll bring
week.
that. We'll do our due diligence and we'll bring that to you guys next week.
All right. Well, it's been a wonderful time. See you next time. All right.